7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake, and Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. But a downfield, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls off and buries a flag.
Richardson tries, out for Robbie Bryant. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Darby. Flag out.
What is up, my peeps? Welcome on into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratinito. Yeah, there we go. This way is better. Sorry, adjusting the studio lights. I am Michael Caratinito at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys all know that. See the show live there every day. Well, a little late today at spring practice. I'll get to that. Every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Don't be bashful. Check it out. On X, also my IG, michael.caratino.5. YouTube, again, you have missed a ton of con reviews, phenomenal shows. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, or watch live, and subscribe while you're there too. But it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Also, for those that can't watch, you can stream it through your Bluetooth as you're driving around on the greatest internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. My friends, it is very simple. Those watching, you see it scrolling across the bottom. So if you got to get in your car, you can again put it through your Bluetooth. But just go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live. Page will open up, click listen live, hit play, bam, Pitchfork Lunch. We are rolling. Casual E invited us in, and guess what? We are here. We are here on the web with that, but Casual E completely hooked us up. Needed more Sun Devil content. We were talking about it. Bam. So you can drive around. Again, I want you to watch on those other avenues, but don't watch and drive. Again, you're smarter. You're Sun Devils. Pay attention to the road. Stream it through your Bluetooth. You're going to meet your friends for some for Mike. What day is it? Hump day. Woo, lunch. You know, that's for Mama, as you guys all know. You're going to meet him for lunch. Guess what? Go meet him for lunch, right? And then you can listen on the way there. And then when you get there, you can still listen, obviously, on the phone, or again, jump on the avenues and watch. But again, subscribe to all the Casual Sports Radio Network's socials when you guys are there, because you want to talk about having you cover with the Suns, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, Mercury, Casual E. I know I remind you, got you diehards every day, but he has you hooked up with that. And again, you'll see more. We're working on more of his growing, but Sun Devil, yes, content with Pitchfork Lunch, but also more articles to come. So anyway, working on that. But yes, go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live, hit play, page opens up, click listen live, hit play, Pitchfork Lunch, forks up there, and you'll be all caught up. So yes, spring practice went a little bit late today, guys. As you know, I've been covering spring for you. We're going to hear from assistant head coach and special teams coordinator Charlie Rago. We'll also hear from Hines Ward. We'll get to that. Again, just very spirited practices. Love being out here. Love being able to bring you guys the information, a ton of information, and just obviously from things I see. And yes, I actually will talk a little offense today. I know. Don't fall over my pitchfork lunch. We haven't forgot about defense. And yes, I do ask Coach Regal a question about the defense. So we'll hear from that as well. Softball last night, man, fell 4-0 to Grand Canyon. So Grand Canyon sweeps the season series. Like I talked about, granted, it's 2 games, but they played back on February 18th at GCU. Grand Canyon won, and last night 4-0. And man, there was a home run hit, and I've seen some tank shots hit here. Some just absolutely crushed bomb shots at Farrington Stadium, I should say, guys. And it literally, it was Jada Cooper from Grand Canyon, and Miko Lupi did not. I mean, pitched well, got out of quite a few jams. But again, 4 runs ended up 4-0 was the score. But the home run that cleared the scoreboard, man, guys, it was that was a shot, you know. And again, it wasn't. She may have missed her spot a teeny bit, and it was enough for Jada Cooper, and that was her 10th home run of the season yesterday. Just bombed it, and it went over the scoreboard in left. So, but Mika Lupi pitched a good game defensively. Man, some sick plays defensively for the Devils. Talking about that yesterday, like I said, overall and all season, you guys know it that have been here. They made some plays, and that's one of those things where I mean, Kelsey Hall in left field, Yaya Acuna in center field. There's a ball hit. What could have been the second home run of the game, and she's literally trekking back. She gets to the wall, bred it beautifully, goes up, and makes the catch, takes away the home run, keeping the Devils in it. But I mean, just some of the defense yesterday and all season long. I mean, absolutely solid. My pitchfork lunchers, as I was telling you yesterday, and give me a little bit of credit throughout the season. No, I'm not breaking my elbow to pat myself on the back, and that you guys know that. But yeah, Mika Lupi pitched a good game. AJ Murphy, we'll hear from her as well too. After the game, she's talked, and I mean her defense. I mean, and even to Kyla Davis, and I'll get into. She made a play. Now it didn't end up in an out, which you're like, okay, but there were runners. There were runners on second and third, and she caught this. She got a ground ball. It was lined to her, and anyway, she makes the play, but she dives trying to tag the runner at third, who again she's making them less. She's stepping, thinking she might get up to make third. She sees the runner. The runner hesitated. She dove. It didn't end up in an out, but again, it kept the runners that were on second, third loaded the bases, and Mika Lupi was able to get out of the inning. But just a phenomenal. And the Coach Bartlett talked about early in the season, just make the plays. You make the simple plays. I know, who does that sound like too? Coach Bloomquist, right? Make the routine plays, and but the defensive, the softball IQ, and a hell of a job by Davis on that play, keeping the runner at third. Again, not recording it out, but keeping the runner on third and going from there. So it was again, a heck of a game. Grand Canyon is what? I think they're now 36-5. I can tell you real quick. I know I can tell you. Grand Canyon is now why do I not have it? That's terrible. Oh, there we go. Grand Canyon. Oh, sorry, I said 36-5. They're 35-6 now. And Coach Bartlett, she talks about that too. But like I said, we'll hear from her and we'll hear from AJ Murphy. So, but they got Baylor this weekend, a huge series here in Tempe at Farrington Stadium. They do have Baylor this weekend, my friends. So that's in and of itself, yeah, it will be a big, big series. Baseball has Texas Tech, and again, both of these series, because the Pac-12 did the same thing when they were in the Pac-10, and even Pac-12. Both of these series are tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No games on Easter Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week for softball and baseball as well. So in baseball, because they have Texas Tech, big games obviously coming up there. Like I said, they dropped 2 or 3 to Cincinnati coming off last weekend. So and then fell to Purdue on Monday. But again, just both teams again playing well. But for Coach Bloomquist, getting more and more of the consistency, turning, passing the torch to the next guy, passing the bat, right? He's mentioned it. You've heard it on the show. So that's what they have coming up. It is also Senior Day for beach volleyball this Saturday. Again, I'll remind you tomorrow and Friday. They have matches at 1 and 3 p.m. Also, lacrosse, women's lacrosse, they have their Senior Day at noon at the soccer lacrosse stadium. So again, I'm just helping you plan in Tempe. If you're there, you can go to lacrosse. You can go catch beach volleyball. You can also then catch softball, catch baseball Saturday night. So it is going to be an absolute Sun Devil fiesta, sports fiesta in the Sun Devil neighborhood on Saturday. But that's that. So, hey, I'm going to take a quick break. When I get back, we're going to hear from Coach Bartlett. We're going to hear from AJ Murphy after, again, last night's, grinding loss to, again, they grinded it out. And again, we'll hear from Coach Bartlett. She talks about it. And also, like I said, we'll hear from, again, local talent transferred back here. Phenomenal shortstop. Again, defender, just absolutely insane. But AJ Murphy as well. But more coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird gang. I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting project?
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird gang. I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those listening on the Casual Sports Radio Network, so glad you're there. I am Michael Caratunito at Diablo00 on X, artificially known as the Twitter, as you know. See Pitchfork Lunch live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, michael.caratunito.5 as well. Also, the YouTube channel, guys, know you can watch live, but you need to subscribe as well. It's at Evans and Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Plus, like I said, you can go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up. Click listen live, hit play Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Bam, Pitchfork Lunch, Casual E again. Making sure we got Sun Devil content coming to you all over the world on the phenomenal Casual Sports Radio Network. So anyway, we're going to get right to it. So we're going to hear from Coach Bartlett. It was a tough 4-0 loss, but again, a quick turnaround, one day off, and then Baylor will be here. Baylor will be here in Tempe tomorrow, guys. So again, but here is Coach Bartlett after last night's, again, 4-0 loss to a very good Grand Canyon team, and again dropped the season series to him 2-0. So these crosstown foes keeping it going. So yes, but here is Coach Bartlett.
Game doesn't care if you're tired. Yeah, we certainly didn't play well in any facet, I didn't feel, and that's not to take anything away from GCU. That's a good ball club. I said it before the game, that team is capable of playing in the Big 12. That's certainly a solid ball club, but we just, Mika got out of some tough spots and certainly gave us her best on the mound, as she always does. We love Mika, but we certainly did not provide enough offensive firepower behind her and just didn't defend well enough.
Can you hang your hat on some of the dazzling defense going forward?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, we've worked really hard for that. If you saw us defend in the fall, we have certainly spent a lot of time. Coach Decker does an outstanding job with the defense. So, yeah, Tanya made some beautiful catches. Ari almost made that incredible diving catch up the middle. So certainly there's a few bright spots in there, but just not good enough tonight.
And when you're talking about Mika, I mean, obviously both teams kind of have mirror images. I mean, they get some base runners, bases loaded again for you, and I mean, boom, she gets it. They do the same thing, but when she gets out of it, I mean, I know like it pumps the team up, but how do you feel that helps kind of like push the defense forward and I mean even help the offense?
Tonight it didn't. We didn't do a good job of that. Certainly, I thought, interestingly enough, at UTEP and Utah, that's something we did really well. We made some beautiful defensive plays. They were fired up. We took it back out onto offense. And for whatever reason, man, we just couldn't get it to translate tonight. Yeah, we certainly wasn't pleased with how we grabbed momentum, kept momentum, held momentum, any of the above.
Coach, how does your offense feel, or just the dugout itself? Like, I think there are only 2 strikeouts all game, a lot of just flyouts and lineouts and groundouts. Like, how does that kind of feel in the dugout, knowing that you're making contact, you're getting bound on ball, you're just not executing, not the execution, you're not getting hits or things like that?
Yeah, they're not falling. Extremely frustrated. We certainly were, and I know the girls were too, because that's a good ball club, and they have high level of expectation for themselves, right? They're here for a reason. Said many times early on, they didn't come here to roll, low majors in this ballpark. Those kids came here to chase Oklahoma City, and they know they need to be better than that, right? Like, as much as it's easy to sit in the stands and be like, that wasn't good, well, guess what? They're living it, and they'll be better. They know.
When you play, obviously having played them earlier, I know you've done that throughout the seasons, but like, is it an adjustment? Like, what's the toughest part about the adjustments from like then to now? Do you take anything like from that first game when you played them?
Yeah, actually, I think we cleaned up the battle plan with a couple of their hitters. Gomez got us pretty good in February, and we kind of kept her quiet tonight. She is excellent. She's very, very good. So yeah, there were little battles we won in there. We just weren't able to win enough of them.
Can you see the young kids, the freshmen, the sophomores growing by the game? How much is that? How noticeable is that?
Oh man, I love those young kids. They certainly, they scrap and they compete and they grind. And I think you saw that again, even in a loss like that with RA and Ash tonight. So the future of the program is certainly bright. We continue to have a lot of teachable moments and a lot of learning moments. It's a big stage and it's a fast game, especially when it's your first season doing it, right? You're coming straight off a travel ball. And they, again, have gotten better and better as the weeks have ticked on. And so they'll get back to it. We'll give them, we'll get prepped and get prepared for Baylor tomorrow and make sure they're ready to go on Thursday. But they're going to have to woman up and figure it out because they didn't get a lot of rest this week. And now another Big 12 team rolls in here in a couple days.
This is the second time you faced Batterton in the GCU circle this season. What differences did you notice from last time to this time?
Well, actually, we got to her at the end, so I thought we were starting to make some better contact. She was starting to catch the middle of the plate a little bit more, and we started to make good on it. So he flipped her out for gold. He was also very good. But yeah, I think she's tough. I mean, she's pushing 70. It's a good drop ball. It's a good screwball. She can flick a changeup in for a strike. So, and she's a big physical body. She's pretty much on top of you, right? She's out of the circle when she's letting the ball go. So, some nights that happens. It's a round bat and a round ball, and it's unkind. So,
I feel like there was a couple of times Mika just wasn't getting the call on the outside corner. Just a little frustration there. What were you, or maybe even Jeremy, telling her in the dugout?
Well, Jeremy's hard to understand because the accent. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and certainly the umpires are doing their best, and that's just part of the game. And we'll give our opinion, and they'll give us their opinion back. So, certainly you'd love every single call, and some for your pitchers. But it's just not how the game goes, and you've got to keep playing it. So we certainly talk to the girls just about sticking to the plan, and sometimes a miss can set us up for a different pitch. And you just, I think, try to attack it that way. You just keep playing the game.
Is it, I don't know if I've kind of asked you this before, but I mean, obviously with it being Easter weekend, so going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I know it's one day in the middle, but I mean, do you like that quick turnaround after, sweeping tough game like this and then get right back on the field?
Not particularly, but it's Easter weekend, so that's what we do in the Big 12. But yeah, everybody's doing it, right? It's not just like it's our series. All the series this weekend will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we just roll with it. That's part of the deal, right? You sign up to play elite level athletics. Your body, your sanity, there's a lot of things that are going to kind of take a beating in the course of a season, especially softball, right? That's 56 games plus postseason in a pretty compacted amount of time. So we'll be all right. We'll get them going.
Great defense out there, and just kind of thoughts on the matchup today, the crosstown showdown, and kind of what you learned about the team after this one.
I mean, GCU is a good team. They're a good team every year. They fight. They end up in the playoffs every year, and we just know how to build off of that and grow for the next series and just take down Baylor and use what we learned tonight and just go beat there.
I feel like you did that tonight. Playing team.
I think we learned positioning, what we need to work on, and how we can build off of hitting, and just what we need to work on tomorrow in the cages and get better at.
AJ, how do you feel? I mean, obviously tonight a solid defensive game, but I mean, just from beginning of the season till now, how this defense has just grown with a lot of, I mean, Coach has said, I mean, outside of you, a lot of young players out in the field.
I think they've shown that they can get really mature really fast, and they've shown that they just flow with the game, and that infield is talented, and we hopped on a train together, and it looks really good right now.
When you're this young, do you see the growth each game?
100%, yeah. I think as young as they are, they've played more games than a lot of freshmen have in the country, so they use that to their advantage, and I don't see them as freshmen anymore. I see them as only seniors with the experience they have, and they use that, and they're a talented class.
What's the tricky, I mean, how tricky is a game like this when, I mean, both teams, it seems like, sprinkle in a few hits, they get a few runs, you sprinkle in a few hits, but it's just like not like finishing, not like getting the runs. What's the biggest challenge in a game like this?
I think just like capturing momentum when there's like not a lot happening. We just got to get better at that, and they were better tonight, and we saw what happened with them. Just capturing momentum is really the only thing.
Is there a way to kind of generate the momentum, trying to peak at the right time here, right as you've been in the first week of May here?
I think just building off of series and just learning and having fun, I think is a really big thing. And just doing it together and just knowing what we're fighting for at the end of the day, and just building and showing up to practice every day and just getting better.
Coming off the road sweep last weekend and then kind of being stopped. This is a huge Baylor series coming up this weekend. What was kind of a journey thing that you guys were working on after the game?
I think just being able to make adjustments faster in the game, and just knowing how big the Baylor series is, but also like it's not the end of the day. Like we can take down Texas Tech too. So just having fun and seeing how many wins we can rack up for the rest of the year.
I know it pumps up the team, but when, I mean, obviously bases are loaded and Mika strikes, somebody out like that, or runners on, and she gets, I know it's happened all year, but just what does that do for the team when she does that tonight?
I think back to the momentum thing, I think it builds momentum into the offense when Mika does that, and just knowing that if maybe the defense isn't getting done, Mika got him, like she can do it in the circle, and just knowing the defense had it either way, and just I get fired up personally. It's really good stuff when she does that.
You and TR pulled off a really nice double play tonight. What can you kind of say about your connection in the middle of that defense?
Like I was saying, like everyone calls her a freshman. I don't see her as a freshman. I think she's a senior. She's one of the smartest players like I've ever played with, and just like her experience, like I think we're just calm together in the middle, and we just know we got each other's backs and we'll always be there. It's fun to play with her. She's special.
You with AJ?
Cool.
Well, Coach Bartlett and AJ Murphy right there. You guys heard him. I mean, it's look, I mean, and like she said, I mean, defensively, and Coach alluded to it, like I said, in the fall, that you're playing fall ball, and yes, you have a young team, and like Coach said, the future of this team is bright, but they're not banking on that. They're playing for the now, and you have a senior leader, local kid that transferred like AJ Murphy, transferred, came back to Arizona, went to Millennium High School in the West Valley. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, guys, where yeah, I mean, it showed up tonight, and like I said, that home run off the top of the show by Jada Cooper. Yeah, I've seen a few shots like that before here, but it just crushed over the wall. But yeah, I heard AJ Murphy right there. I mean, look, having her in the middle of the infield, and I asked Coach Bartlett that, not after last night, but just, she was talking about the defense, but and what's that? Kelsey Hall in left field. The diving catch, Kelsey Hall in left field, and Yaya Acuna in center field. I mean, just like I said, ridiculous. But AJ Murphy in the middle of that infield, yes, when you're playing with a freshman second baseman, and like she said, Tiara is one of the smartest players she's, played with, but she's like, I look at her, as a senior, what she's doing now. And Tiara Ho-Ching has had a phenomenal season up to this point. Last night, 2 runners on, she did strike out, and you could just see the frustration and the anger there. But again, it's unfortunate that it's a learning experience. But yeah, she has delivered so much this year. But yeah, AJ Murphy talking about that, and it's just defense, tightening up, and it's contagious, like Coach Bartlett said. So a tough loss, but look, they had practice today. They got a quick turnaround, short-term memory, forget about it, and have your matchup against Baylor. So, but hey, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Spring ball, I promise you, and I'm going to bring it to you right now. We're going to close out the show hearing from assistant head coach, special teams coordinator, Charlie Regal, a great friend of the program, as you know. Coach Regal's always been gracious enough to come on the show and, make me look a little bit smarter talking special teams. And, of course, I always got to tease him finally having a Horizon kicker is very, very, very awesome. So, anyway, but yeah, we'll hear from Coach Regal, and then we'll hear from Hines Ward. But yeah, Coach Regal talking about the return game, the kicking, obviously transfer in. But I'll let Coach Regal tell you. Ask him a few questions. But yes, let's let's hear from Coach Regal after obviously practice. This is hot off the presses, as we say, right, guys? But yeah, it's very again, so stoked about transfer kicker, everything. But yes, here is Coach Regal from today, right after practice.
So obviously, kicking always an adventure. But man, I mean, just your thoughts. It seems like guys are everybody's kind of getting into their groove.
No, we're in a good spot. We've come along. We just finished 11, right? So Jesus has settled in really nice. 2 for 2 today. Just feel really good about where he's at. Our operation, with our snapper holder has been really clean. And, again, it's the spring. You can only do what you can do. But we're pleased where we're at at this point in practice. And obviously we got to go do it in the fall, but like where we are right now.
And I know obviously you want players to be coming. You mentioned Jesus, but it just seems like something's going on. All right, come out and just hits a long one. What do you just like from his demeanor?
Well, I think it's the fact, one, that he's older. And, when we recruited him, he knew what this was going to be about. He knew why he was coming here. Getting to know him and building that relationship was key for what we were looking for. And it's just a lot of maturity on his point, on his, approach. And at this point, it's paid off.
And then having obviously Canyon back holding too, to that standpoint, I know we touched on it last season, but just, to get used to a new kicker and Jesus, what little things have you seen from Canyon just in his growth as a holder?
Well, I think first, it was a little bit of a difficult transition. I don't say difficult, but different because Jesus is lefty. Yep. So you're catching it from a different side. So he had to get used to that, and I think early on, there was a little bit of a transition period, and he started to work those things in the off season, as they did on their own. And then when we got into spring, we were still a little bit rusty, but we built it up, and he's pretty much made a seamless transition. And really just, he understands that he has to put as much focus and effort into the holding as he does the punting. And he's really done that.
To piggyback off that with his punting, last year I know you raved. His hang time, switch in field position, but man, it seems like as you said, the practices went on. Man, he has just absolutely crushed it. What's changed in his approach, you think?
I just think he's true freshman. You know what I mean? The biggest, they say, right, the biggest growth in a player's career really comes from his freshman to his sophomore year, from year 1 to year 2, and so I think you're going to see a substantial amount of growth from him in year 2. He's got a long way to go, but we know he's immensely talented, and I think you're going to see some of that growth on display here in the fall.
And then from the just kickoff standpoint in general, how do you feel that's going? And
yeah, I think that Jesus has really done a nice job with that. It's at this point it's going to be his job. He's got a big leg, and what I love
from the just kickoff standpoint in general, how do you feel that's going? And
yeah, I think that Jesus has really done a nice job with that. It's at this point it's going to be his job. He's got a big leg, and feel very comfortable with him, executing that at a real high level.
And I talked to Clayton earlier, and he said that he's always there for you on the fake punts, as you know, but now he's hoping that maybe you can help him maybe get like an offensive goal line series too. How do you feel about that?
He's got the ability. What I love about Clayton, there's not a job that he can't do, or at least he thinks that. I love Clayton, one of my all-time favorite players that I've ever coached. Tremendous athlete, great young man, and he's gonna have a big year. And we might have a little something dialed up for him in that fake punt scheme for sure.
And then the last thing I want to leave you on this, defensively, obviously, the depth that came back, and I know we even talked last year, the linebackers coming into spring and even fall, were a question. They answered that every week, but the depth that's back, how do you just feel from each level that they've grown? And again, I know I always hate using the word easy with you guys, but maybe making Coach Ward's job a little easier calling the defense.
Well, I think, that when you look at the defense, we've got a ton of guys back. So what does that equal to right away is experience. And, when you've been there, done that, it gives you that, level of familiarity with the defense and understanding it. So we've got a bunch of veteran players. Now, at the same time, you can't get complacent in that, right? So they have to be a leader and push, oneself to play at a high level. But we should be good on defense, and I think that's everybody's expectation.
Where you guys are at? How do you like where you guys are at?
We got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
It's still a process, our group, a room full of different faces, new to our program, and trying to really establish kind of our work habit and our culture and kind of how we do things. So, but I'm extremely happy about the progress and the growth. Those guys are getting better day in and day out, and now they're starting to do less thinking and more reacting. When you're coming into a new program, going on day 11 of our practice, now things are starting to mesh and gel together. Whereas probably 2 weeks ago, probably a little bit of last week, everything was running together and they didn't know right from left. So you kind of get that during the midway through spring. But overall, I think we got a great group of guys that love the work, that loves to compete, and looking forward to their growth and progress.
I'd imagine it's easier to kind of instill those expectations and systems with the returners.
It's a little easier with the new guys, like the freshmen, because they only know what they know.
Sure.
It's a little harder when you take guys out the portal and they come from different systems. Yes, because the way they did it back in their old school, that doesn't count here. And nor do I care about how you did it at your old school. So you're going to do it our way, and our way is the right way, and we're just going to get detailed up, and I'm going to continue to push them and try to get the most out of our guys.
How do you feel that Sam's growth and just with his grasp of the offense, but getting on the page with the receivers and his leadership has helped?
I love it. I mean, his leadership skills and I mean, just off the charts. I mean, as far as his expectation, his standards, kind of, you know, I love when he's yelling at the wideouts to get in a certain spot, you know. But at the same time, we got to have patience. We have to understand that, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, that it takes timing and it takes rapport on and off the football field or get to know one another. And but Sam's done a tremendous job of that. He's an excellent leader for our team, and he wants the best out of everybody, including himself. So he'll be the first to admit if it's his bad, and he'll be the one that pushes everybody else when it's not done the standards that we have around here. So I love Sam for that. He's going to continue to grow, and he's going to have a fabulous season.
Kind of growth has playing this season, off-season?
I think it's been good, man. Malik's kind of, you know, and I had a little heart-to-heart with Malik and say, hey, man, you know, no more playing around. It's your last giddy-up, right? So let's make the most of this season. And, I mean, for whatever he's done, man, he's done an excellent job preparing himself, having a better understanding, starting to play fast because he knows the system now. So I'm looking for him to continue to grow and continue to be the guy opposite of JT, and hopefully he can continue making plays and getting on the same page with Sam.
How did returning help him, do you think?
I think it helped a lot in the sense of learning the playbook. You know, he's kind of where the portal guys are now. You know, still acclimating to our system, really not playing as fast because he's doing more thinking, because he's not sure on what he's got. But when he knows it, Malik is a beast. You know, when he knows his plays and he's confident, it's very hard to stop. When he's not at his best, it's because he's unsure about what he's got. So taking that red shirt year was great for him, and now I'm looking for bigger and better things this season from him.
The focus on Tyson, how can he exploit those one-on-one matches that are probably
like his size and speed is a matchup problem alone in itself. Now it's just a matter of getting on the same page with Sam, and I think Sam and Malik are starting to get a rapport now that JT's kind of been out. You know, he's kind of been that kind of go-to guy that Sam has a lot of trust in. So it's just continue to build off that and build a rapport between Malik and all the receivers with Sam, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Can you talk the other day about someone needing to step up as the second wide receiver? What have you seen from Malik in that regard?
He's stepping up. I mean, Malik he's having a fabulous camp. You know, with JT going down with his injury, gave him an opportunity to step up, and you know, on the grade system, I mean, he's grading pretty high. You know, he doesn't have a lot of MEs. He's making plays. I love what he's doing, 1 versus 1, and you know, we just need consistency. And that's really what I'm looking for out of everybody. I don't really want an up and down player. I want a player that's just gradually on the rise at all time. You know, getting 1% better each and every day, and that's really what I'm looking for the entire group. And I'm going to continue to push those guys until I get it. You know.
And Coach,
go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of competition like that, with obviously the defense, I mean, the corners, receivers are always going to be chippy, but especially for, like you're saying, the young guys, the freshmen, how has this secondary, you feel, helped move their development along so far this spring?
I mean, our corners are very savvy. They're savvy vets, and I love it. I want to see kids compete. I want to see kids talking trash to each other and how do they respond to adversity. So, you know, sometimes I try to create chaos and be yelling at them, but certain days I like to sit back and just watch, you know, who gets in the tank, who's going to respond to a little adversity. So it's been a great way for me to kind of judge and see who I'm working with, because at the end of the day, you really don't know with the young freshmen how they're going to respond. I got to figure out who can do hard, you know, who responds to adversity, and that's really what spring ball is all about, me trying to figure out who can do what and get a feel for the guys that I have in my room.
Clayton Smith walked off the field saying he's ready to hit somebody. So do you feel that energy? Or guys
yeah, you can feel it. Things are getting a little chippy, you know, going against each other every day. But that's what spring ball is, you know. The vets want to be out there. They want to go. But Coach Kenny has a plan, making sure that we take care of the guys that played a lot last year, making sure that they come into the fall camp ready to go mentally and physically, and their bodies are ready. And now it gives a lot of younger guys opportunity to showcase what they can do. And we got to kind of stress and see what they do in the midst of chaos. So yes, Clayton, he's the biggest competitor, but at the same time, we got to be smart with our vets and making sure they're good to go before the season starts.
And is Clayton dropping the honey in your ears too after the
Clayton's
fake punt
always,
catch that he
he's
wants that he can come play
always
receiver
wanting
for
Clayton,
you too?
Oh, listen, I'm gonna keep working him out. He's always advocating for red zone passes and stuff like that. But I love all the guys, man. They just love ball. They love to compete, and they want to do whatever to help this team win. And that's really what it's all about. So Clayton Smith is just one of those guys. Whatever he can do to help this team win, he's always advocating. Put me in, coach. I'll be ready for you. So yeah, I got him in, and he's my ace in the pocket right here. So I got him on kind of standby in case I need a tall guy to go up and get it in the red zone.
You talked earlier about some of those younger portal guys. What have you seen from Jaron Hamilton and that?
Oh, Jaron's explosive. It's just a matter of just getting him acclimated to our playbook. Noel's explosive. Jalen Moss probably has more playing time than any of our guys on our roster at the receiver position. So it's just a matter of getting those guys acclimated and really breaking down some of the bad habits that they had and me continue to just stay on them and develop them. And we will do that. I will do that in that sense. But, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's all a process. All these guys, they want to be at 100, but it's hard to go from 0 to 100 without going through the process of 1, 2, 3, 4 and building up. And I just try to keep those guys encouraged, because I know frustration hits sometime because they want to be at 100 because they want to be at their best, and they're not going to be. It's impossible. It's just not going to happen. But we continue to just chop wood and continue to work our butts off each and every day, continue to be the guy on the rise to continue to help this team win ball games.
And there he is, Hines Ward, after Coach Regal. And yeah, Coach Regal, guys, real quick with the kicking game. Obviously, like he said, we talked about it even last year. It was a little bit of a roller coaster, but Jesus Gomez, this young man, and I've talked about it on the show, and guys, I think I've even posted in practice. he hit 55, 57, 58. He's getting more and more comfortable. And again, like he said, with Kenyon Floyd, because the guy's a left-footed kicker, again, catching the ball from the other side. The way you spin it, the way you rotate it. That laces out, Dan, right? Everybody from, Jim Carrey fans know that. Laces out, Dan. So that's good. And then for Coach Hines Ward talking about, what obviously the receivers are doing in Jordan Tyson. And I will say this. He talks about how they get in the tank. The DBs and the receivers were so damn chippy today. They were very, 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 very chippy today. And, not all of them, but a few of them going back and forth. And Miles Rouser, who we had our show on Friday, was definitely letting the receivers on the sidelines know that he was there to play some defense. And and Xavier Alford, his safety partner, Little John. And like Coach, like Hines Ward just said, you love to see it. Like you want to see it. How are guys going to respond? How are they going to do it? Yeah, but Jaron Hamilton, this young man, and I know defense and I've talked offense, but this young man, how he's grown in the spring, him and Noble Johnson as well, and Jalen Moss too, like Coach mentioned. It's a room that's filling out. And Derek, Eusebio, season he had last year, kept saying growing, and that's Hines Ward, man. See, I say his name now, and then I think of the question. But no, look, just the competition they're having with the secondary, the corners, obviously, say the DBs, the safeties, guys. It's like I said, it's awesome. But Jaron Hamilton, this young man, it's just again absolutely money. He got another long pass from Sam Levitt today in 11 on 11 and, got open. And it seems like there's one or two per practice that he's getting. Yeah, and Jalen Moss as well, too. So, and Noble Johnson receiver-wise. So, you talk about Malik McLean and obviously Jordan Tyson. Coach, Dillingham's talked about him and Jordan, as Coach, mentioned is, hold him out for a lot of the spring since he got a little bit banged up. But, he's been on the field running and doing stuff. So you can see Jordan Tyson there. And Yeah, but yeah, the battles between the receivers and the DBs, again, love it, being able to cover it, seeing it. I mean, a guy like Rodney Bimmage, Javen Robinson, obviously Keith Abney. It's all just, again, very very awesome to see that competition, but to see, again, DBs and receivers grow. So I like the and Jaron Hamilton had a hell. I posted it earlier, guys. Go to good old @Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter, and you can check it out. But there was a nice one-on-one matchup with Keith Abney Jr. and Jaron Hamilton, and Hamilton is able to make the play. But yeah, I mean, it is, again, the intensity, the chippiness, it is all there. So, hey, I'm going to get out of here. That's going to do it for today. So, again, I hope you guys thank you guys again for jumping into Pitchfork Lunch, going around Sun Devil Nation and enjoying it. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, as always, thanks to the wonderful reigning Big 12 champs, women's volleyball, obviously in their first year in the Big 12, guys, as you know. Thanks to them. #OurState, as always. And go Devils. But as always, you guys know this. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls off and buries the flag.
Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for